Dear Sig Sauer, this isn't a takedown video. It's not about clicks. It's not about cancel culture or outrage. This is a plea from one human being to another, from a community of responsible gun owners, law enforcement officers, concealed carriers, and families, to a company that once stood as a pillar of trust in the firearms world. It's time to do the right thing. Not because the headlines demand it, not because lawyers are circling, but because people, real people, are being hurt. Lives are being lost. And silence is no longer acceptable. I don't come at this lightly. I know what it means to carry a firearm. I know the responsibility it demands. I know the reverence and the risk. And I know that the Sig Sauer P320 has earned its place in many holsters, in duty belts, and in nightstands across America. But I also know what's been happening. We are now years into growing reports that the Sig P320 and its variants, including the M17 and M18, striker-fired handguns without an external safety, can reportedly fire without the trigger being pulled. Let's be clear, this isn't rumor or internet speculation. There have been dozens of lawsuits, photos, surveillance videos, police body cam footage, sworn affidavits, injured hands, shattered holsters, people who will never walk the same again, people like Braden Levon. You have settled outside of court on some of these cases. The U.S. Army demanded a voluntary upgrade after drop test failures. The Philadelphia Police Department pulled the P320 from use after officers were reportedly injured by unintentional discharges without touching the trigger. There are confirmed reports involving federal agents, military personnel, and everyday citizens, many with no skin in the game except their skin itself, blown open by a weapon that allegedly discharged while holstered, or during a reholstering process, or while being carried safely. Is it every P320? No. Is it common? Probably not. But is it happening? Yes, it seems to be. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Even one uncommanded discharge is too many. This isn't a case of you should have kept your finger off the trigger. These are people who did. This isn't a case of modified guns or third-party triggers. Many of these cases involved factory stock P320s and military-issued M18s, some issued directly to law enforcement and military personnel. And yet, the silence from Sig Sauer has been deafening. The main thing we've heard, myself included, is threats of litigation. Here's what I can't stop thinking about. What if it were my hand, my leg, my child in the back seat? What if it were yours? What if someone bought a used P320 and didn't know the risk? What if they carried it because they trusted the name Sig Sauer the same way millions of us once did? And what if one day, without warning, it discharged inside a purse or a waistband, a duty holster? This is bigger than brand loyalty, bigger than legal strategy. This is about trust, honesty, and above all, human life. I have a Sig P365 that I carry daily. It's the only firearm that made me stop carrying a Glock. But all of the buzz and caution around the P320 has made me second guess if I should carry the P365. Even though they have different internal mechanisms and designs, my confidence in Sig is waning. I've heard a similar sentiment from many others. And it's unfortunate, as many gun owners say, the P320 is or was their number one favorite firearm. Now, I'm not calling for a boycott. I'm not asking anyone to burn their P320s in protest. That solves nothing. I'm not looking to smear the Sig Sauer brand. What I'm asking, what we're all asking, is for Sig Sauer to step up. We want transparency. We want clarity. We want answers. If there is a design flaw, fix it. If more research is needed, invest in it. If the trigger system needs a redesign, do it. If there's a variant of the gun that is safer, make it the standard. And, most importantly, if there's nothing wrong at all, then explain it. Show us. Prove it through open, independent testing. Invite the third parties in, not just internal legal departments. But if you're right, truly right, then no amount of testing should scare you. And if you're wrong, then lives are still at risk. The longer this drags on, the more it feels like liability management has taken priority over human safety. That the company is more concerned about lawsuits than the people behind those lawsuits. But your name, Sig Sauer, it still means something. It carries weight. It carries history. It carries pride. Don't let it carry blood and a tarnished reputation. Now, here's the real tragedy. This could be your defining moment, Sig Sauer. Not because the P320 might be flawed, but because the company could either deny it into the ground or rise above the noise and become the gold standard for accountability. You don't just make weapons. You make trust. You sell security. You promise that the tool in our hands will only fire when we ask it to. But when that promise is broken and you say nothing, you're breaking more than metal. You are breaking faith. You're leaving good people in a fog of confusion and fear. You're letting misinformation spread in the absence of transparency. You're putting the burden of truth on those who are already injured or grieving or doubting the thing that once gave them confidence. So I'm asking, on behalf of the entire gun community, the concealed carriers, the police departments, the parents, the veterans, the cautious first-time buyers, Braden Levon, and every holster that holds a SIG, do the right thing. Be honest with us. Tell us what you know. Tell us what you're doing to find out more. And if you're not sure yet, then just tell us that. We don't need perfection. We need courage. We need leadership. And we need it now. Because when it comes to firearms, silence isn't safe. Silence kills. And you have the power to change that. We're still listening, Sig. But please, talk to us. Thank you.